KBRF.com.
Is your teen or young adult withdrawing, experiencing anxiety, or depressive thoughts? They may need a larger team to care for them. That's where Hazelden Betty Ford comes in. Our team of experts help guide with proven mental health and substance use support. You can trust Minnesota's #1 teen treatment center to help your child thrive. Turn to WeGotYou.org to learn more. Hazelden Betty Ford. We Got You. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation and aired by the Minnesota Broadcasters Association and this station.
It's Morning Talk on News Talk 1250 KBRF, brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. Now, here's Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop.
Good Thursday morning. It is 9:10. Hoping everybody's having a great start to your day. As well, it's one of those days that.
Yeah, you've been pacing back and forth. I think you got your steps in for the day, just running back and forth through my studio here.
Actually, I got to go. I got to run out my door, through your studio, down the hall to my desk, and I had to do it twice because I forgot. I was looking for one piece of equipment, couldn't find it, came back. Boy. And then I'm like, okay, I got to sit down. Oh, wait, I didn't grab my headphones or my cover. Okay,
well, I was just sitting here thinking as I'm adjusting stuff, I always adjust the microphone. My phone has to be over here. The pens have to be over here. You know, the top to my coffee has to be off camera over here, and my coffee has to be here. And I feel like, wow, what a creature of habit. If, you know, everything has to be in its place before we can get this rolling.
Now,
so I think everything's good now.
Remember a couple months ago you were like, what happened to all my pens? They're all.
Do you know what? I found them.
Yeah, they're all
over there. And it's really hard to use a pen on the air when they're all way over there.
To get to grab one in advance.
Yeah, I know, but why are they all over there?
I don't know.
Well, anyway, I've resurrected
Chuck.
A couple because.
When in doubt, blame Chuck.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's just blame Chuck. I mean, you've got to have a scapegoat, so I think he's as good as any. So anyway, it is Thursday. We're wrapping up another week of our show. It's hard to believe. Gosh, June is just flying. I know we say that every year, but here we are. I mean, Summerfest is behind us, and I heard somebody talking about a 4th of July in 2 weeks.
Oh.
I know.
I'm not ready for it.
I know. It goes fast, doesn't it? That's why you got to grab on and have fun and take advantage of every day of summer. We've been doing that the last 2 nights I've gotten home, and John's been sitting on the end of the dock with the pontoon running. So I just have to get out of my car, walk to the end of the dock, get on the pontoon, and off we've gone. So, you know, sit out there for about an hour, and just, it's been so nice and calm, which it hardly ever is. And so we've taken advantage of these last 2 beautiful nights, and there's nothing like being on the water for me. If you've had it doesn't matter what kind of day you've had, I guess, but if you have had a rotten day or a stressful day or something going on where you just need a little peace and quiet, boy, for me, being on the water is like the answer to everything. So enjoyed that the last couple of nights. And the weekend looks hot. It's like summertime. Here we go.
Get out and enjoy the aquatic center.
Yeah, for sure. Won't it be a great weekend there?
Great weekend, yeah.
Yes. So we invite you to come on into Fergus Falls if you're listening from somewhere else, and take a peek at our new aquatic center. It's something really to be proud of.
Oh,
it's beautiful. My goodness.
You can go to KBRFradio.com, click on the news story. Derek did a great job with a video for it, and then you can also just go to KBRF Radio on YouTube, and then maybe search that for the videos, because we got that. We've got Where to Eat. So we've filmed another one on what day was it? Tuesday. We were filming up in Detroit Lake, so that was fun, and it's
I know you give me some good ideas on some new places to try to go to eat. We're not very good about leaving the lake in the summer, but you know, if it's an icky night or something, then we would venture away. But yeah, you've given me some good ideas and some restaurants that you have uncovered that I didn't even know existed. So it's been kind of fun to follow you guys. That's been a fun segment for you.
Yeah, that's been really fun. I mean, our last one, I ate the amount of sushi we ate. It was a lot. And then, of course, obviously they've got burgers, they've got ribeye,
You said it was great. too.
hibachi. Yeah, they.
Have you said where it is yet, or you're going to wait?
It's Sapphire up in Detroit
Okay,
Lakes.
in
so
Detroit Lakes. It's relatively new, right?
I think they've been around for a couple years. It used to
Okay.
be the Country Kitchen, I guess, and so
Long time ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's
so
out on
it's on
10.
10. All right.
So that's going to either
well, I guess
be
relatively new. A couple of years is kind of new.
our July or August episode is going to be Sapphire, and then the other one we've got in the can is Sones. We revisited that. They've got an absolute all
Over
new
in Pelican
menu.
Rapids
yes,
at the VFW.
the VFW in Pelican
I
Rapids.
have yet to stop there. I need to probably grab something to go on my way through or something.
Yeah, I mean I had a prime rib sandwich there, and that was
Sounds good.
really good. And so yeah, it's not just Asian food anymore. It was
lot of
primarily
people
Asian,
talk
and then a
about
little
great
bit of
food,
burgers.
yeah.
But yeah, they've got an absolute phenomenal lineup now.
Good
So
deal. Yeah, I've got some good restaurants to hit on my way through town as I'm headed back to the lake. You know,
Yeah.
there's some.
we
There's
did
some good
Big
stops
John's in
Yeah.
Pelican. So
Yeah, sounds good. Well, were you surprised with the Karen Reed case and how that came out? Not guilty.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised. The more I read about it and the more I watched and heard things about it, I was not thinking she was guilty. And there were certainly a lot of things that played into reasonable doubt, I think.
Yeah.
But now I heard a news story this morning that said someone asked the question, well, now what? Now who will they look at next? And they said they probably won't. They think they had the person who was responsible, and now the outcome of this trial can't go after her again. She has been acquitted, and it is basically over. However, they're taking a civil case against her, in which...
Kind of like OJ.
Yeah, yep, kind of. And so what did she get? I think she got like a year's probation or something for the DUI, because she was under the influence. So anyway, she was on trial for second-degree murder and manslaughter, though she was found guilty of operating under the influence, and the prosecutors alleged that Reed hit her boyfriend with her car, but the defense argued he was attacked by others. So the defense was arguing that it was kind of a cover-up from the police. There were a bunch of policemen that were partying together, and they think that something bad happened, and they were trying to
Pin it on her.
dump it on somebody else. So maybe we'll never really know the outcome there, but it's a done deal.
Yeah.
It has been decided. So that one's over. Federal Reserve kept key interest rates steady, but signaled the possibility of 2 rate cuts by the end of 2025, citing uncertainty around Trump's tariff policies and their impact on inflation and economic growth. The central bank acknowledged elevated uncertainty. Well, there's a new one for us.
Elevated uncertainty.
Elevated uncertainty, with experts warning of pressures coming up and slowing GDP growth and rising inflation. So, that's kind of like saying partly cloudy,
Yeah.
or there is a chance of showers. That's pretty interesting. I've never heard that before. Elevated uncertainty.
Elevated uncertainty.
There's our new little.
There's
tagline.
not just uncertainty.
It's elevated.
Elevated uncertainty.
Yes. And the Supreme Court ruled 6-3 to uphold a Tennessee law banning gender-affirming care for minors. Oh, hallelujah. We're talking about kids here.
Yeah.
And doing, surgical procedures and different kinds of care without their parents knowing. And if their parents know and are okay with it, I guess that's the parents' decision. But you can't just have any old Joe doing
Yeah.
care on your kid when you don't even know it. Over 20 states have similar laws that this ruling may impact. The conservative majority cited risks associated with such treatments, while the dissenting liberal justices argued the law discriminates on the basis of sex and transgender status. But it also trumps all over on parental rights.
Parental rights, and
My goodness.
they're still minors.
They're still minors, absolutely. This is interesting. The U.S. has approved the world's first twice-yearly HIV prevention shot, offering a powerful new option to protect millions globally. The long-lasting injection nearly eliminated new infections in clinical trials, outperforming daily pills. While a vaccine remains elusive, experts say the shot could be a game changer in ending the HIV pandemic, which how many
Wow.
years old is that now?
Yeah, it's been going on early
70s?
Yeah, late 70s, early 80s is when it really took
yeah,
off.
Yeah. Remember how scary that was
Oh, yeah.
there for a while? Anyway, and it's pretty interesting that there has been no vaccine. There's a vaccine for everything.
Well, I think they want to make sure that whatever they use actually, when you slap
Actually
the title
works?
slap
Actually
the title
works?
of vaccine on something, it's got to work.
Then everybody mistrusts it if,
Yeah,
it's,
because
if you slap the vaccine
when you said
on it.
preventative shot, I'm like, isn't that a
True.
vaccine?
Yeah, kind of. It's just another word for it, I guess. Let's see.
It's right up there with elevated uncertainty.
Yeah, elevated uncertainty. That's going to go down as the new favorite.
I want to use that in my next meeting with Miles.
Elevated uncertainty.
Dave,
That means we don't know at all. We don't have a clue.
Dave, can I get an update on whatever? I'm like, well, there's
Yeah.
elevated uncertainty.
Elevated uncertainty. Yeah, we have to be sure to carry that one forward. That's a good new one. And Fresh Realm, in case you have this, recalling pre-made chicken fettuccine Alfredo meals sold for us at Walmart due to possible Listeria contamination. The USDA says the recalled products produced before June 17th may be linked to a Listeria outbreak that has sickened 17 people across 13 states, resulting in 3 deaths
Oh,
and 1 unborn child, a fetal loss. The source of the contamination is still under investigation, so just to be careful on that.
well, I'm
And
not.
then, of course, I guess we can't go to the bottom of the hour without talking about what's going on around the world. And as we speak, there are, there are bombings and all kinds of stuff going on in Israel and Iran. And Iran is kind of mad because they got one of their hospitals blasted overnight.
Israel, I thought.
Israel did.
Yeah. We
Did I
said
say Iran?
Yeah,
Oh,
you said
sorry.
Iran is bad.
Sorry, Israel had one of their hospitals
Yeah.
damaged, but no one was hurt, thank heaven. They had already started kind of moving some patients to safety areas, and there was damage to the building, but it didn't like take the building down or
Yeah.
blow the whole thing up, and no one was hurt, thank heaven. But they're what they want to do
That's
is
an-
go after the
Yeah.
uranium. Is that right?
Iranian.
And uranium.
Uranium,
There we go.
okay.
I knew that didn't
I'm like,
sound
well,
right.
Iranian is like
Yeah,
the
the
Iranian people.
Yeah, the uranium.
Uranium enrichment facilities.
Yes, and so that's what they're going after now, and that's what they hope to take out. However, they're saying that the United States would have to bring in their fighter jets and that specific bomb
Yeah,
in
Moab.
order to take that out. So our president has been recently just said, hey,
Even I don't know what I'm going to do.
I haven't made the decision. It could be a decision that's made very fast, and you'll know about it seconds before it happens. You know.
I think we'll know about seconds after it happens.
Well, probably so. But I think he's being honest in that. I'm taking a look at all sides, and what do you do here? There have been these agreements in place
Yeah.
since Obama. But you know what? The Iranian people, Iran never did anything on the up and up. Sure,
No.
they made a deal with Obama, but they never held to it.
No.
They are always doing stuff under the
And then
under the
Biden
radar.
brings them money when he gets into office.
Yeah.
It's
So I mean, we've put that power in their hands, and yeah. So now, I don't know. Is it time for us to move in and bring a fighter jet or two and drop those bombs that would take out those facilities, and then what? I don't know. It's one of those deals where aren't you glad you're not the president of the United States?
It's one of those jobs I would never want.
Yeah.
I pity anybody who decides that.
I don't want to be the chairman of a board of directors, much less
Yeah.
run a country. Especially when everything is so awful out there and everyone is so divided and so mean and terrible, and I don't know how you You'd have to be a guy like Donald Trump to be able to do it.
The level of ego.
You have to have a big ego, huge shoulders, not care what people think, and, you know.
Well, just know that, 40% of the country hates you at any given time.
Right. And that's going to be the case no matter what,
Yep.
you know.
Because it usually goes 40, 40, 20.
And then I saw, this is so disturbing. So the lawmaker that was killed in Minneapolis,
Yep.
Melissa Hortman and her husband, Mark. So now there had been crime scene tape, of course, around their home. Someone broke into the home. Now
That's
after,
just disgusting.
I mean, really? Boy, and then they said nothing was taken. That's weird.
Well, they probably just broke in the home to take photos and...
I don't know. But anyway, just really, let's add insult to injury here.
Yeah.
I mean, just awful. Anyway, I think so much about their family and, 2 kids who've got mom and dad, probably what, in their 50s, maybe?
Yeah, mom, dad in the 50s. They look like they're young 20s.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
So, I mean, their mom and dad are probably 50 years old and, good family, and now mom and dad are both gone. It's just such a sad, sad thing. All right, coming up on 9:30, break for the markets, and we are back with more on Morning Talk.
Back with more Morning Talk with Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop. Brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. After the markets on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
Layton Media has an amazing opportunity to add a media consultant to our Fergus Falls team. If you have energy, integrity, and a passion to talk to people, you might be the perfect fit. We want someone that is not only a go-getter, but a team player who's eager to be part of a successful, supportive team. If you're ready to make an impact with the businesses we work with, we want to hear from you. Apply today at layton.media and become part of a team that values community, integrity, and growth. That's layton.media to apply. Your success starts here.
This is Ryan Welly with the Fergus Falls Monument Company. When you're thinking about a memorial for your loved one, I invite you to stop in and see our large selection of memorials on display. The memorial you choose is crafted for you right here locally with an everlasting warranty. That means it's perfect, now and forever, guaranteed. Call or stop into Fergus Falls Monument or visit us online at foreverstonememorials.com. Memorials that matter.
Grown-ups, aren't Sundays more fun without, can I have screen time? Can I have a snack? I don't want to go to Grandma's. It smells funny. And I'm bored. Bored is impossible on Kids Day at Target Field. The gate 34 lawn is turned into Bullseye's backyard. Kids' meals are half off. Kids 12 and under can run the bases after the game. And Grandma's invited too. Enjoy your weekend wind-up with Sunday Kids Days, presented by Target. Join in at twins.com/tickets.
Community is important, and you'll find it at Pioneer Point. Spacious apartments, thoughtfully designed for older adults, provide the best in senior living. Heated parking and elevator access makes life easy. Your neighbors at Pioneer Point hold a welcoming, family-like approach to living. Choosing from an array of special features and options, you'll find many ways to define your lifestyle at Pioneer Point. Call or schedule your tour online today at pioneercare.org.
Discover unforgettable deals at FergusFallsDeals.com. Grab certificates from Tabuli or Lakes Inn at Dunvilla. Perhaps explore unique finds at Bearded Dad and Joanne New Age. Save big on entertainment with tickets from a Center for the Arts. And enjoy great offers from Running Stitches Embroidery, Elevate, and even Odyssey Steel Inc. New deals drop often. Shop and save big at FergusFallsDeals.com. At FergusFallsDeals.com.
Take a look around. You're seeing homes and schools, churches and local businesses. What you're seeing is the community, and what continues to make it great are the people. For 3 generations, Olson Oil Company has been a strong member of the community, providing scholarships for youth and contributing to local charity events, because this is what locally owned businesses do. They help the community. Olson Oil Company, with locations in Fergus Falls, Underwood, Elizabeth, Burgess, Perham, Richville, and West Fargo.
Tennessee 37027.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vows that Iran will pay a heavy price for a missile strike that heavily damaged southern Israel's main hospital, blowing out windows, setting the roof on fire. A high-rise apartment building in Tel Aviv was also hit, along with other sites in central Israel. Scores of people injured. Israel struck an Iranian heavy water reactor in its latest attack on Iran's sprawling nuclear program. As for what the U.S. will do and whether there will be an American military strike, President Trump holding his cards close to his vest. He's not saying what he might decide. So much for an open exchange of ideas. It took the leftist social media site Blue Sky less than 15 minutes to yank Vice President Vance's newly created account. More details at srnnews.com.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free, no-risk consultation. 800-292-7875. 800-292-7875. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-292-7875.
today.
Hey guys, Rachel Cruz here. And I've read study after study showing that your relationships, health, decision-making skills, kindness, and even sleep.
What's the ox say?
Today on Hot Talk with the Ox, well, it's the big holiday. You working today? We are, and right away hear all about the holiday and what you're supposed to do about it. What businesses are open or closed, if there's free parking downtown, that kind of stuff. Then, are we at war with Iran yet? Do you want to be? And maybe even a few special guests. See you for a relaxing and joyful holiday. Hot Talk with the Ox today from 2 to 5 on KBRF.
What's the ox say?
Live music this Friday at the VFW in Fergus Falls. Enjoy entertainment from Julie Lee and the White Rose Band, performing this Friday night after bingo. So grab your hat, throw on your boots, and head down to the VFW Post 612 on Washington Avenue in Fergus Falls.
Are you trying to show up the neighbors with the best fireworks show at the lake or on your block? Is it getting personal? Hello, this is Melissa, the fireworks lady at Patriot Place Fireworks in Wapton, and we'll get down in the trenches with you and help you win this year's fireworks war. I carry the biggest and the best fireworks for the big shows. So if you are finally ready to show up the neighbors and want the biggest fireworks show on the 4th, come to Patriot Place Fireworks next to Burger King, downtown Wapton. Let's win this thing.
At Patriot Place Fireworks, we accept all major credit and debit cards with no bogus 4% fee included.
You know what summer needs: a little sunshine, a little shopping, and a lot of savings. Pick up a free Fergus Falls Super Summer Savings Card and score deals at 30 Fergus Falls Chamber businesses. Dining, home decor, auto service, coffee, you name it. Just show your card and save. Get BOGO offers and discounts up to half off. Free cards are available now at the Chamber. Visit Fergus Falls and participating businesses. Go to fergusfalls.com for details on the Super Summer Savings Card.
Consumers everywhere are rediscovering the benefits of buying locally produced food. Not only is it fresher, tastier, and more nutritious, it's also good for the local economy. And did you know the Village Hearth and Artisan Hearth hamburger and hot dog buns and rolls you love are baked right here in the Midwest? With the state-of-the-art bakeries and facilities throughout the Midwest, freshly baked buns and rolls are delivered fresh every day to your neighborhood grocers. Village Hearth and Artisan Hearth buns and rolls, locally baked, delivered fresh daily.
I'm having a really hard time lately, and I'm worried no one will understand what I'm going through.
I feel so alone. I wish there was somebody I could talk to.
If you're looking for support, Mental Health Minnesota is here for you, with connections to others who have also struggled with their mental health and can provide support and resources. Services are anonymous, confidential, free of charge, and open 7 days a week. Connect today at mentalhealthmn.org or call 855-HERE-FOR-MN today. Sponsored by Mental Health Minnesota, the Minnesota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs, together with the Minnesota Department of Military Affairs, reinvest individual contributions of $30 when motorists buy a Support Our Troops license plate at any Minnesota Driver and Vehicle Services Deputy Registrar location. Purchasing a Support Our Troops license plate is a way to show your support daily while driving your vehicle and contribute funds to help support our troops and their families. Please purchase a Support Our Troops license plate to show your support for those who serve.
For just when you think you've got your mic on and it's working, but you find out it was because you're recording intros in the off during the markets. Everything is in audition.
Oh dear. All right. Well, we're back anyway. Yeah. Okay, I was going to tell you about, I read this headline. I thought, how can this even be? A man receives a robotic heart transplant. Get this.
Ooh.
Without opening his chest.
No, that's interesting.
Now, that sounds like a great way to do it, huh?
Yeah.
Groundbreaking surgery took place. It was in Texas. Performed a fully robotic heart transplant on a 45-year-old. The procedure was conducted at St. Luke's Medical Center on March 15th. They saw his failing heart replaced without the need to open his chest. Unlike traditional methods, this innovative approach involved a surgical robot made a small incision above the patient's belly button, and they successfully removed the heart and implanted a donor organ through the abdomen. Oh my goodness.
Wow, that's game-changing if this works.
Wow. Resulting in a less invasive process and reduced infection risks, quicker recovery time. Wow. That's like, what do they call the surgery? That
Laparoscopic?
Yeah, that's like laparoscopy. My goodness, a tiny little incision. Wow, that's something. This marks the first fully robotic heart transplant in the U.S., showcasing a significant advancement in the field of cardiac surgery. He is now, he had the surgery March 15th, and he has now been cleared to resume all normal activities.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, just having a new heart, regardless of how they implant it, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking up probably the worst surgery ever. They had it had a fatality rate or mortality rate of 300%.
Oh boy.
The patient died, the assistant died, and the spectator died.
No.
I'm trying to remember who the doctor was. I remember screenshotting it or on Facebook because it was
wow.
like, wait, what? But yeah.
Yeah, how can that even be?
Well, it was back in the day, like in the 1800s or 1700s or something like that, where, you know, you have to go fast because there's no anesthesia, and this guy was claimed to be the fastest, person ever. So he was doing an amputation. However, he was doing it so fast, he cut off his assistant's fingers. They got sepsis. They died. Somebody died of shock in the spectators because back then, hey, come on, everybody gather around. We're going to chop off somebody's arm.
Oh, my goodness.
So the spectator died, and then, of course, the patient died as well. So
wow.
Mortality rate of 300%.
Wow, that's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Imagine if they had robots back then.
Oh, boy, I'm glad I'm living when I'm living. You know, I had my knee replacement about 1.5 years ago, and they did that by robotics. And I think I was one of this doctor's first patients to use robotics in a complete joint replacement. And it went super well, and I know that they compared me to somebody else who did not use the robotics, and our time in recovery and, getting through PT well. We got through PT better, had better results, and it was quicker.
Yeah.
So.
It was in the 19th century. Dr. Robert Liston. It involved a leg amputation with 3
goodness,
fatalities.
That is just awful. That is awful.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think? What do you think about this? And I think this is true, and people are just too dumb, and they believe everything they read. But this headline reads, social media overtakes traditional news sources in the United States. And isn't that sad?
That is sad.
But it is. That's where I can't even imagine what the percentage is.
Yep.
But so many people are getting their news only from social media sources.
Which is good and bad at the same time because...
so unbelievable, though.
But I mean, look at it this way. KBRF has a Facebook page, social
True.
media, and we post news articles there. We also have on YouTube, same place you can watch this. You can also get our weekly updates, or our on
Well,
Friday
and
we've got that.
We're a lot more trustworthy here
Yeah.
than what you're seeing on national news.
Yep.
But I think a lot of people are getting their national news.
Oh yeah.
You know, through social media, and a lot of times people see what other people post and they just believe it.
I
you know?
was talking to Derek earlier this week, and we were talking about some of the fun little fake AI things.
Yes.
And one of the two that I really love is the Stormtroopers and then Bigfoot, the Adventures of Bigfoot with Bigfoot. And then he goes, yeah, those are kind of fun AI things, and those are kind of funny, but watch this. And then it looked like a news report, and then somebody behind them goes into a sinkhole, and he's like, yeah, AI is fun, except for when AI is trying to pretend to be news.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you're right, that is scary.
It is. I think AI has way more scary outcomes possible than are good outcomes.
Yep.
I don't know. Even the guy that invented it, he's like, wow.
Well,
tap the brakes, everybody.
There's at least one fast food place in town where if you go in the drive-thru, it's an AI
Generated voice.
Yep, and it takes your order.
Oh boy. Well, better get me the fries I ordered. I don't want to drive through and get home and have my fries not be in the bag. Okay, well, anyway, according to a news report, about half of Americans now, a little more than half, in fact, now rely on social media and video platforms like Facebook, YouTube, and X for news, surpassing TV channels and news websites. Globally, about 36% use Facebook and 30% use YouTube for news weekly. And you know, a lot of people have cut the cords with their TVs, and they're doing YouTube TV and all of those streaming possibilities.
Well, I know our operations manager. He's got YouTube Live, and that's his TV. He doesn't have traditional TV.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people have gone that route just because it's so much cheaper.
Yep. I mean, I shake my head and cry every time I pay my cable bill.
Yeah, I know.
Cable and internet is expensive.
Yeah, it sure is. And we have, I'm trying to think what we even have, Dish Network, and that is expensive.
Yeah.
But we also, it's kind of nice, we just take our receiver from town when we move to the lake, take it to the lake, and then we've got TV at the lake. So, but John wants all the sports channels, and I have to have the locals.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see local news in the morning, or anyway. But they're saying that about 47% of those people who they polled expressed concerns about online personalities and influencers spreading false information. Boy,
we've learned that in the
that is
last
a
couple
problem.
elections.
The rise of social media and personality-driven news. So personality-driven news, there's another term for you today. It's not news reporting. It's not just somebody being the deliverer of the news, but it's someone who has a bias and is trying to sell you their way of thinking, much like I do here on this show. Anyway.
Here's an interesting question for you. Now, if I remember correctly, what does news stand for?
Gosh, don't know.
Have you heard the latest in the north, the east, the west, or the south?
Oh.
It's the cardinal points.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Never heard that.
Yep.
Well, anyway, they're saying that the rise of social media and those personality-driven news shows are more pronounced in the United States compared to other countries, with significant increase in podcast news consumption and scrolling news on X. Honestly, I watch a little bit of news, and I try to, you know, kind of flip around to the different channels and watch some more traditional conservative kinds of views, and then more liberal kinds of views, to kind of see who's saying what and how they view the same thing that's going on. And so I do that in the morning, and apart from that, I don't, you know, I get some news sitting here, and I try to, you know, be up on what's going on nationally and certainly locally. But other than that, I've started distancing myself from all that social media stuff. I'm so tired of it. So if you don't see anything from me and I don't respond to stuff you put on there, it's just because I'm avoiding it. I'm so sick of the arguing and all the, all the angry people.
Yeah.
Don't be angry. Stop being angry.
Yeah, I had to stop. I mean, somebody I've known for a long time, and they just kept always posting stuff, and I'm like, I mean, we're kind of acquaintances. I've known you for a long time, but you're not a good enough friend to deal with this. I mean, I've got two good friends that
unfollowed a lot of people.
I've got two good friends that are highly liberal, but they've always been that way. So it's like it's what I expect from them. So I just kind of scroll past those, and it's not like
I realize I'm not always going to agree with everyone, nor will they with me. But we've said this a million times. I'm not going to change their opinion, but I will change their opinion of me. And I don't want that to happen. So there are some friends, good friends, who I have unfollowed. I haven't unfriended, but I have unfollowed just because I can't stand to see their daily rants. It makes me feel differently about them, and I don't want to do that.
And my super liberal friends, they don't daily rant. It's maybe once every other week, but I mean they've got like family photos and all that other stuff, so it's just
that's what I look for is the good stuff and the funny stuff, the stuff that makes you laugh out loud, the cat videos.
You gotta love the cat fail videos.
This one, it's really funny because I feel like, I don't know if you feel like this, everywhere you go, you're driving down the street, somebody's mowing the lawn. You're driving down the street, somebody's walking their dog. They are driving in their car, and in every case, they've got earbuds in. Do you notice that? Just about wherever you go, people have earbuds in their ears all the time.
Well, I mean, when I'm out for a walk, I put my earbuds in.
I like to hear the good old outdoors.
Oh no, I just like to. I've got my own little.
Plus, where we walk, you got to hear the cars.
Well, you're right. I'm on the sidewalk and.
Yeah, if you're on the sidewalk, but otherwise it's kind of dangerous.
Yeah, because I was gonna say if I get hit by a car on a sidewalk, whether I heard it or not, I'm probably gonna get hit.
That's true. You're right. But the habit of keeping earbuds in for extended periods is on the rise.
Mm-hmm.
Individuals wearing them in various settings. There is a family medicine doc has observed more patients leaving their earbuds in during medical appointments. Really? Now that's just rude.
Yeah.
Prompting concerns about attentiveness. The behavior extends beyond medical settings as individuals in customer-facing roles also frequently wear their earbuds despite their employer policies. Now, if I'm coming up and somebody's checking me out at a store and they're wearing earbuds, I'm saying something.
Yeah.
That's rude. How can you take care of a customer when you're listening to a podcast? The challenge lies in determining whether the earbuds are in use or if the individual is engaged in their other activities. I can't imagine that it's even good for your ears.
No,
to have
can't be good for your hearing.
No. Anyway, it seems rude, I think.
And then you also have to worry about, especially those little rubber things on the end of your ears, getting stuck in your ear.
Well, maybe so. I know. Mine don't have the little rubber guys.
I know somebody who got stuck in their ear. They had to go to the emergency room to get it out.
Goodness.
And the emergency people say that happens 2 to 3 times a week.
Really? And you know what happened? I think what causes that, sometimes people sleep with them.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe where that's happening, and they're turning over and laying on them, and then that little rubber piece comes off the end. Anyway.
But yeah, they got a neat little tool that just yoinks it out. It takes like 5 seconds, and it's gone.
Oh boy. Anyway. Yeah, I don't love my earbuds that much. And if I'm outside biking or walking, I like to just be outside. I don't want to hear news. I don't want to hear music.
If I'm
I wear mine when I work out because I kind of like to have music then. But other than that, I don't.
If I'm biking on a trail like up at Glendale, well, maybe not as much as Glendale, but like Central Lakes Trail, I'll wear my earbuds. But if I'm biking on a road, I want to hear traffic.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, here is some kind of woman. She's 82 years old.
Okay.
Her name is Faith O'Reilly. She is set to make history as the oldest female participant in powerlifting at the 2025 National Senior Games. 82 years old. O'Reilly, originally from Iowa and now residing in Colorado, first discovered her passion for powerlifting while in law school. Since then, she has won multiple state championships and continues to advocate for the physical and mental benefits of the sport. O'Reilly's positive attitude and dedication have inspired many, including her participation in the 2023 Women's Triathlon Relay, where she won a gold medal. As she prepares for the upcoming games, O'Reilly remains a shining example of strength and perseverance.
Can you imagine her grandkids' bumper stickers?
I know.
My grandma can outbench press your mom.
My grandma's a power lifter. I feel like that needs to be on a t-shirt or something. Oh, boy. Okay, Disney is going to introduce virtual shopping experiences.
I'd like to virtually shop and not pay Disney prices.
Yeah, I would like to just shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had funny story about my mom. The hospice nurse would often, help her get ready in the morning. And then she said, well, this is a cute outfit. She said, that's my Mary. She has a shopping problem.
She's got a shopping problem.
Oh, she knew me so well, right? Oh, boy. Anyway, that makes me laugh to think about that. Let's see how about this one? Meta making efforts to attract OpenAI team members with some really nice offers, including $100 million signing bonuses. What?
Okay, Facebook follows me enough. I don't need Facebook AI.
Wow. This move comes as Meta heavily invests in artificial intelligence, recently acquiring a significant stake in the Scale AI startup for $14 billion. Despite the offers, they have stated that none of our best people have decided to take them up on it, and the attitude, he says, is driven by OpenAI's mission to develop super intelligence and the associated long-term rewards.
I need one of these AI groups to call themselves Skynet and just say it as it is.
Yeah, I know.
Skynet, for those who don't know, is from Terminator, and it was the AI program that destroyed humanity.
Yeah, I know it. It's scary, I think. But how fast things change. And I've told this story before, but I don't know how long ago it was, but I had a guest right here on the show who talked about the information superhighway, and we'd be able to send mail instantaneously. And I just thought, who is this kook? And email and internet. Think. So, boy, does that make me sound old. I remember before I-94 and before the internet.
Oh, see, I remember I-94. It was there, and then I also remember the mall.
I think that was early 70s.
Yeah.
So I was like 10-ish.
Okay.
But I do remember many times we went often as a family down to Twins games.
Yep.
And we would pack a lunch and stop someplace on the way. Because you had to go through all those towns, and we'd pull over and get the cooler out, and everybody'd have a little lunch, and then we'd go on our way. It was like you couldn't make the 3 hours without a stop for lunch. It's so different today.
Well,
we don't think twice about running to the cities for a day trip to do something.
Fill up the kids before you get to the stadium, and
For sure. I think that was maybe the motive. I don't know, but I do remember stopping. Oh, here's St. Joe. Let's stop here and pull out the cooler. And the other thing I always remember about those road trips is the smell in the car, and it was my dad's thermos.
Oh, okay.
They always filled this thermos of coffee for Mom and Dad in the front, and they were always passing back that cup, that's on top of the thermos, and I just remember the smell in the car of that fresh coffee.
The original Stanley.
I know, the original Stanley. That's exactly what it was. Let's see what else we have for you. Your interior paint colors of your home might affect and impact your home sale price.
Oh, yeah, I believe that.
Some people can't see beyond what is there. They can't visualize a different color on the wall or maybe something different on the floor. They can't get past what's there. They can't think out of...
Well, I know when we bought
Unless you can use AI now, and you can change everything, and you can see what it would look like with white carpet and white cabinets and...
Well, when we bought ours, the room that we're going to put Adam in was pink, and so it's like, because they had a baby girl, and we got a young boy, so it's like, well, first thing we're going to do is change this color.
Right.
Adam, what color do you want this? Let's make it green, so we painted it green.
Yeah, we had some pretty crazy colors in our house when we moved in, too. So, but they do say that selecting the right interior paint color can significantly impact the home sale price.
Oh, I believe it.
Kitchen cabinets in olive green can increase buyer interest.
Olive green?
Yeah, I would never do that.
No.
Raises the home's value up to $1,600.
Olive green.
In bedroom, yeah, and that's the cabinets. They're doing that a lot more of that, installing colored cabinets. In bedrooms, navy blue walls are preferred. I hate dark walls. I would never.
I think ours are navy in our
I don't-
bedroom.
Oh, it's just so I can't do the dark thing, but that's what's going. That's the latest greatest. And dark gray living rooms also favored.
Our living room, I think, is dark gray as well.
See, you got it all going.
I do.
I know. All right, that is going to wrap up another week. Thanks for joining us. Our show today and every day brought to us by Pioneer Care and by Fergus Falls Monument Company. Have a great weekend.
612 Saturday.